Have you not?
Just do it like that. Just do it like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Scared Shitless. Today we are going to be doing a tier list looking at the kills in the Final Destination franchise. I'm Ryan and I'm joined by Al.
Hi.
Jamie.
Hello.
And Ali. Did you speak, Ali? I didn't hear you.
Hello.
Okay. And here we are. So I straight up did not make this tier list. I found it on Tier Maker. And if you want to find some kick-ass tier lists, you can head over there. They have tier lists for lots of stuff. So I was just saying before recording, the hard part of making this video is going to be remembering characters' names, because this franchise is not exactly known for its memorable characters. So I will use names where I can and use other things where I cannot use names. So we're just going to wing it and see how shit goes. So yeah, in fact, here Sean William Scott. Let's do his death first. So in the first Final Destination film, Sean William Scott was telling Carter that he's dead. He's dead. He needs to stay away from him, only to have his head partially cut off by a piece of scrap metal. Hang on. You know what I haven't done? I haven't described the tiers. So let's do that quickly, right? S tier is the best. We all know this. A is pretty good. B is pretty good. C is pretty good. D, not so good. F, completely sucks. In fact, C's not pretty good either. But you get S is the best. It goes down to AF, you know. We can go. So back to Sean William Scott. Where would we rank his death? His partial decapitation. Who
was that after the train?
Train.
Yes, that was the train.
That was a great death. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one as well.
So
I don't think it's right at the very top, but I would say A.
You think that's an A tier death?
I would agree, yeah.
I think was it not some of our favourites in the first film?
I think it was. That's
yeah.
I'm sure there was at least a couple of votes for that.
Okay, well, I mean, we've got you and we've got Ali saying A tier. I would say B tier, personally. I do think it was a good death, but I mean, if I'm outnumbered, I'm happy to put it A tier. What's your thoughts, Jamie?
Yeah, pop it in A tier. We can always revisit it later.
Is okay, done. A tier. Right, let's go with Clear. You know, she was the only character to make it through into two movies. So Clear, you know, character from the first film, died in the second film in an explosion in the hospital. Personally, I don't think her death was that good. I would probably put her...
I agree.
I can't even remember that death.
She blown up.
Yeah,
I know.
Her and the.
Come on, Jamie! It's an explosion.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I
normally love explosions. How do I not remember this
her
death?
And I forget the guy's name. Eugene. That's Eugene, it. Thank you, Ali.
Yeah.
Yes, they both died at the same time. The best thing about this death was that her corpse actually came towards the camera, like her burned up corpse, which was pretty cool. But as a whole, in this franchise, I'm a bit underwhelmed by explosions. So she's just fallen into C tier, but actually that's where I would probably rank her. So what's your thoughts on this, Al? Where would you put Clear?
I see why you've put her in C. I can kind of agree with her being in C, but if it was anybody but her, she'd be in D or F.
Oh, that's
because I think we're probably ranking her higher because of who her character is, rather than her actual death.
In there?
Eugene is not in there. No, it's just Clear. But I mean,
was going to say, because you could have popped Eugene in D, but since he's not there.
So okay, do you think you do make a fair point, Al? So maybe move her down to D tier.
I think D was what I naturally went with. I wanted to put her higher because I like Ali Larter and I liked her character clear in the two films.
Yes.
But her actual death is quite underwhelming when you compare it to all the other ones.
Yeah. Jamie, what would you agree?
Leave her there. Yeah.
Ali?
Yeah, I would agree as well. She should have stayed in the white padded room in the second film. But no, I would definitely, I would keep her in D.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give us an S tier kill right now because, in fact, hang on, is that Eugene there? That's Eugene. Boom. Eugene's going in D next to Clear because they died the same way. We happy with that?
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So okay, we have our first S tier. Sunbed chick from Final Destination 2.
Agreed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't think there's any disagreeing with that. That is one of the best deaths of the entire franchise, in my personal opinion. In fact, let's actually go for the very final death of the entire franchise. Nathan, who is crushed by some fallen debris. I mean, I'm assuming this is Nathan. We only see a hand in this. But he is crushed by some fallen debris off Flight 180 after we thought he survived. Ali, where do you think the very final death on this franchise belongs?
It wasn't really a bigger, memorable death, in my opinion. But maybe a C.
C?
Because he was a final character.
What did you think, Jamie?
I'd say that's generous. Like I'd stick it in D tier.
Al?
Yeah, I'd agree with Jamie.
Okay. I actually would have agreed with you, Ali. I would have given it C tier because I thought he survived and then I'm getting crushed by the debris. I thought was quite cool. But as a kind of compromise, I will make high D tier.
Top of D tier.
Top
That's
of
fair.
D tier.
If anybody wants to see more about our discussion of any of these deaths, go and check out the episodes.
Yes, the
Shameful
episodes
plug
where
alert.
said person dies. Yeah. In fact, let's stick with Final Destination 5 and take Isaac. Isaac was the sleazeball who gets the acupuncture pins knocked into him, and then his head is crushed by Buddha. I don't think it's one of the better ones of Final Destination 5, but I do think Final Destination 5's deaths in general are better than the other movies. So by that logic, I would definitely give it C tier, lowest. But
I agree.
You agree?
I agree with C.
as well.
Jamie?
Yeah,
I think it was
leave it there. I wasn't very impressed by that kill, mostly because of the run up to it. But yeah, I can see the effect was cool, the crushing was cool, but I thought it just went on way too long. But C tier is fair, I guess.
Fair. Okay, we're right. We will then take Dennis, who was killed by a spanner. I know, Ali, you said in the discussion that your favorite death in the movie was when he burned to death with the oil, but that was premonition death, so that's unfortunately not the one we're counting. Spanner through the head is what we are counting, and I would give that C tier again. I would have given it less than that, but then I think the fact that it stopped and focused on it, you kind of got a close-up shot of his face afterwards, and I think that puts it up because it was pretty gruesome.
It was a nice
Jamie,
shot as well.
It was a nice shot. Jamie,
it was a quick death, but I don't think
as was Billy, Sean William Scott's character from the first film.
That doesn't necessarily indicate anything. Yeah,
but
C tier is fine.
As you all know, some of my favorite kills right the way through have been people getting hit by vehicles and stuff like that. I think you can have a kill that lasts a fraction of a second, but it's got a lot more impact than they're like the boy with the glasses. who
Have we
lasted
got
for
the
ages.
character that got the first, that was hit by the bus first?
We
in
have
this?
Terry, yes, who was hit by the bus in the first Final Destination film.
So iconic. I think you have to give that S tier.
You think?
Just because it was so shocking.
Okay, I would go A tier. I wouldn't go S.
I would go A tier. I think S is maybe a little bit much.
Ali?
I would go with A tier.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So you have been outvoted there, Jamie. But seeing as you said S,
Jamie's going to flip the table.
We could put her above Billy.
Mm-hmm.
So we could make her the top of A tier. At least,
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it was just, shock death. There wasn't too much, no special effects or whatever to push it up. That's fine.
Yeah.
A tier's fine.
Okay, then I suppose let's take. I forgot his best friend's name from the first Final Destination, but he is choked in his bathroom by a wire. I'd give it F tier, especially because it's the only death where death tries to cover his tracks. Like he gets rid of the water afterwards. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I would give it F. I think it's one of the worst kills in the entire franchise, if not the worst. Well, maybe not the worst, because some of the ones in Final Destination 5 just look terrible. Actually, how bad Final Destination 5's kills were, I changed my mind and I would give this one D tier because I can't put it on the same tier as some of the Final Destination 5 ones.
I think
but wasn't that the first kill of the franchise? It wasn't in a disaster.
Yeah, it was the first non-disaster, non-premonition kill.
But then we're just biasing ourselves by saying it's special because it's the first or because it was the last. So.
Nah, I'd stick it in F tier, man.
You'd stick it in F?
I would. I don't think it was impressive at all.
I'm going to show you the reason I don't think it belongs in F tier, and then we can go back to it and discuss it. Mechanic from the Final Destination, where he gets pushed through a fence by a gas canister, and it looks cartoonish.
Terrible.
This is an F tier death.
Agreed.
I'm not even taking your votes on this one. He's going there. I'm in control. So, however, we will go back to him choking on Final Destination 1. And if you think he belongs on the same tier as the mechanic, I will move him down to F tier. So, what's your thoughts on that, Ali? D tier or F tier for choking in your bathroom?
D. D tier for choking
Jamie?
in the bathroom.
Yeah, D tier. Yeah, why not?
And Al, your vote is irrelevant on this particular death. So
that's fine.
Is there anyone any of you see that you want to talk about right now? Anyone that stands out to you?
Now we've got the dead silence as everybody just looks through all the pictures.
Keep picking someone.
Just keep picking random folk.
Okay, what about Wendy, who played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead? She was our main character from Final Destination 3, a movie that I very much enjoyed, and she died by getting hit by a train at the very end of the movie. I think it was a pretty good death. I think the whole disaster was really cool as well. I would give this A tier personally. She's the last one alive on the tracks, and then a train's coming at her, and she's just like, "Oh, balls." What's your thoughts on it, Ali?
Yeah, I would agree with you there, Ryan. Yeah. Just as soon as our legs were done, she was fucking going nowhere, right? So, yeah, definitely an F tier, man.
It's fair. What do you think, Al?
I'm just gonna have to go with the group because I have no recollection of this death whatsoever.
Okay, Jamie.
I got to side with Al. I don't remember this either.
It was the end of the film, and
was this after the credits? Like
no, remember Wendy.
Was this
Julie,
not was this in a premonition?
She has a premonition of the train disaster at the very end, but then
I remember
actually the subway train.
Yes.
Yeah, the subway train. Yeah, but
got
the
you.
underground.
Yeah. Okay. So Jamie and I are back in the room.
Right. So do you agree with A tier then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Here's someone who I'm putting in F tier. And it was Alex, our main character from the very first Final Destination movie, because he dies off screen, and all we get about it is a clip, like a news clip in the second film saying he was crushed by a fallen brick. I'm sorry,
so nobody cares.
You're getting F tier if you don't even die on screen. That's
this death came down to some newsprint.
Yes. That's literally all we got.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take McKinley from Final Destination 3, who was the character who was named after the school he went to and was crushed by the cherry picker. I thought this was a kick-ass death, personally. I would at least say, I would probably say B tier. Maybe even better than that.
I think for the comedy value as well. Before, wasn't he cheering like "I'm not gonna die"?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Yeah. I thought that was good. Yeah.
I just like the foreshadowing of it. You could see it looming behind him.
Yeah.
I see where this is going.
And yeah, he was crushed with a cherry picker with his own name on it. So that was pretty cool. And right, since we've done McKinley, let's go to his girlfriend, whose name I cannot remember, Goth Chick, who is shot through the head repeatedly with a nail gun. I think this is A tier. I think this was fantastic. I think this is, in fact, I might even I'd say S tier. I might you might disagree with me there, but I think that might be an S tier kill. I think it would be one of the best kills in the franchise, and the only reason it wasn't my favorite kill in Final Destination 3 is because the sunbed kill was so damn good.
You've talked me into it. I think it was. I would be happy with S. I think those two kills are certainly were two of my favorites. Yeah. So,
Ali, what's your thoughts?
No, I agree with you, man. It was a nice shot, actually. A nice little scene, just for the effect of the nail gun going through her head. So yeah, definitely agree.
Jamie, I know that you can't remember that one very well because you couldn't see it very well. So you'll just have to take our word for it.
I'll take your word for it. I was trying to remember, but I was thinking, was this one of the ones I said I couldn't?
It was, unfortunately. So we then had Rory, or at least I'm then picking Rory, who was from Final Destination 2, and he was cut into pieces with the barbed wire.
I love that.
You loved it.
I loved that. Yeah.
Okay, Ali, where would you put it then?
I'm gonna put that in B.
You put it in B tier. Okay.
I'm gonna put it in B tier.
Jamie, where would you put it?
I don't remember this one either.
Don't remember Rory getting cut up. It was after the
flying fence cuts him into 3 bits,
and his body slipped apart.
No. Sorry.
No.
It was the whole sound effect of it slipping apart which done it for me.
Al, where would you put it?
I think B's fair. It's like I thought it was quite good comedy value with the fence flying through the air and then him just sort of slopping apart. So yeah.
So directly before he dies, we have I believe her name was Kate, although I may be wrong. She was trapped in her car with the pole through it. The fire brigade were trying to get her out. Her airbag went off,
made it worse.
And she got impaled. I think it was pretty cool, but
the effect was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So
I think either bottom of B or top of C. I think she's better than the two that are in C already, but potentially not quite on the same level as the B guys.
I agree. I completely agree with that. I would give her top as C. What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's definitely not a B tier, but I like the effect of the pipe going through. So.
Right, we then have the security guard from the Final Destination who was hit by the ambulance. This definitely wasn't as good as Terry's death, who was hit by the bus. She's A tier. Yeah. Realistically,
I mean, he got hit twice by that bus.
He did,
once in premonition. I'd give that, we've seen it before. I only gave the first one because it was so new.
Yeah,
high
impactful. Score. Yeah, you actually felt it in the first one.
I'd give that a bottom as C tier, maybe a top is, I don't know, C tier probably.
What's your thoughts, Al?
Maybe even lower. I don't know.
I think I would go lower, to be fair, but I thought I'd see what you had to say.
Yeah, as we've discussed quite a few times, I like people getting hit by things.
Yeah.
Particularly vehicles. I just think they're quite funny. But
we can all feel really glad that you've got your driving license.
Either needs to be top of D, bottom of C. Either one of those I'd be fairly happy with.
I mean, I think I'm giving it higher because I liked George. Like I said a few times that I enjoyed George as a character, but I think
he was a good character. I liked
him. Pop it in D. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. D tier he is. So right. Let's one we've just talked about because we have just finished filming our Final Destination 5 video. So Candace, the gymnast who dies quite phenomenally.
Twice.
Yes, both of her deaths were fantastic, but we're only talking about the one where she is broken in half, like she got in a Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker. I would say this is easily A tier. I'd even top of A tier, bottom of S tier, in my opinion. But what do you guys think?
I think bottom of S would be totally acceptable. I think that one was just as good as the nail gun death.
Fair.
I think this is one of my favorite kills in the franchise, so I'd stick it bottom of F. I mean, personally, I'd stick it above the nail gun one because I couldn't see that one properly. But
that's fair.
Okay. I'll swap around for you because I'm happy with the S tier. To be, as long as Sunbed Bitch is the top,
and you said it was two separate people and the CGI was done and they put it together so well.
They put it together phenomenally. Okay, so we'll stick with Final Destination 5 and have look at the girl who had her eye burned out and then fell out the window. This kind of has two parts to this death to me. The laser burning the eye and the hand and everything, I think is fantastic. I think it's easily A tier. The falling out the window, I think, is a bit weak, and I'd probably put that bottom of S or top of D tier. As a result, I'd probably call it quits in the middle around B. What do you guys think?
I think that's fair.
I think that makes sense. Yeah, I totally agree. I think the stuff with the laser was really well done. Falling out the window and all the other shit, probably not so much. So
Kendi brings it down a wee bit.
Definitely does.
So
I mean, there was a lot more stuff in a doctor's office that could have killed you. You could have easily put some other shit in there.
You don't need to just fall out window.
You don't need to fall out a window. Just don't do it. Okay, then how about we go to Hunt, who had his insides sucked out through his butthole.
At the bottom of a swimming pool.
That's an amusing one, if nothing else. So this was my favorite death in the Final Destination, but that isn't really saying a lot because I wasn't impressed with any of the deaths in the Final Destination. So realistically, I don't think this is better than any of the deaths in B tier.
No.
I would say absolute best, in my opinion, is the bottom of B tier.
I would have said the top of C, probably.
Okay.
I think, I'm sure I agreed with you. I'm sure that was my favorite one as well, just because of sort of how daft it was and basically seeing his insides blown up in a fountain.
Yeah.
But it's still not a great one.
Okay. Everybody happy with top?
Yes, I agree with that.
Yep.
Okay. We will then let's look at Carter from the original Final Destination movie, who was crushed by a swinging sign in Paris.
He got it coming to him.
Saving Alex. Why did he have it coming to him? What did you have against Carter?
He was a dick throughout the middle part of the film. Christ.
Okay, Ali, where would you put his?
That was just karma to him, Let's put him in. Let's put him in C.
Put him in C.
Put him in C.
What do you think, Jamie? Does Carter belong in C tier?
I mean, we cut to black before we even saw him die, didn't we? So, like,
we did see the body get hit by the sign,
and
I believe.
And then it went to black, didn't it?
Yeah,
he got hit by the sign, then it went to black.
It went to black. It might have gone to black a second before impact. I'm not sure. I can't remember now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's better than George's kill, which is in the top of D tier. So, yeah, leave it there.
Al, happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Let's look at. I have forgot the character's name, but his real name was Texas, and he had his head squished by some weights. Texas Battle. That's it.
Oh, on the in the gym.
I like that.
You like that one, Ali?
I like that one. Yep, that was karma to him as well.
You're just wanting everyone to die in this franchise.
Oh, totally, man.
Right,
totally.
Ali,
you've switched me on.
where would you put Texas?
I would put him in B.
You would put him in B? Al, where would you place him? Do you agree with Ali? Would you?
I don't think I would have put him in B just because I don't think it was that. Seeing him get his head crushed was pretty brutal, but I don't think it was that.
I'm looking at who's in C tier, and I don't think
that's what I was doing.
I
would say he's very similar to, I can't remember what his name is, the guy who gets his head crushed by the Buddha. I think it's essentially the same death in a different manner. Yeah. So I would have slapped the two of them in there together.
I think Isaac's is
maybe
even a little
ahead
bit
of
better.
Isaac's from.
I think Isaac's is better because I think Isaac's has the addition of him getting stabbed with the needles and the fire, and I really enjoyed Isaac getting killed because I really didn't like him. Whereas Texas, I was just like, come on, man, what's your form? This isn't good gym etiquette. But
none of it was a gym full of lifting bros. They were all in the same. But I thought the effect of his head getting crushed was awesome.
It was good. It was good. So, are we all happy if I put him next to Isaac?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Let's try and bash some out quickly. So, right, we have racist dickbag who was dragged down the street and set on fire.
F.
Yeah, that was such a dull kill.
But it did play Why Can't We Be Friends? So I'm putting on my head of mechanic, but keeping on my
That's fine.
But okay, we then have the star from Final Destination 2. I don't remember her name. In fact, I don't even remember how she died.
She drowned, didn't she?
She didn't die. What the fuck is she doing on this list? She didn't die. She was at a barbecue at the end of the Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and the other kid got blown up.
You know what it is?
Yep.
It's in Final Destination 3, there was in the DVD release, there was a choose certain paths thing that you could take. And it had the death of her and the cop from Final Destination 2 in one of said paths. But it's not canon, so they're not getting put on this list. Okay, so we then have let's go for the Tom Cruise looking motherfucker from Final Destination 4, who ended up having a villainous turn and then getting skewered. Personally, I think, although I like the character, I think this is a D tier death because getting stabbed in Final Destination is a bit lame.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay, we have the Lotto winner from Final Destination 2, who, after a series of unfortunate events, is impaled through the eye with a fire escape.
I thought that was a great kill.
Was
that not my favorite kill in Final Destination 2?
It might have been.
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd personally give that an S tier kill because the effect at the end was amazing and the build up was brilliant, and I thought it wasn't going to die. Maybe top of A tier, bottom of S tier, but I thought that was great.
Al, what's your thoughts on that?
I disagree with S. I think yeah, somewhere in A, I could see, but yeah, top of A, I'd be. Yeah, fair enough.
Cool. I'm happy with top of A. Kevin from Final Destination 3, same as Wendy, dies on the train. So I'm going to chuck her next to Wendy. He actually gets sucked out the window and like mashed on the underground train. If you, it was fantastic. Right, we have Penny from Final Destination 3, Julie's friend who is impaled with a flag. Kind of happens out of nowhere. Julie gets
she's a random.
By the horse. Yeah. She's a random. It's a very quick impaling. I wouldn't say F. I still think it was cool. I would say D tier.
Yeah.
Maybe better than the skier though. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's better than the skier. Yeah, because she's like slides down it and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely better than the skier.
Okay, where would we rank Flight 180? Because we have two characters here who died on Flight 180. I would put Flight 180...
Is that my third favourite premonition, I think? I'd stick it definitely. I'd put that in A tier, yeah, probably. What a concept, opened the film, opened the film, what a concept.
Yeah. Okay, we have... I forget her name. The mother who was decapitated by an elevator.
What a shame.
Top of B.
Yeah,
I don't think I would put her above McKinley, who was crushed by the cherry picker. But I would put her next to McKinley.
Fair. Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
We're all happy we're around there in the end between McKinley and Rory. Okay, we then have the teacher from 1 who was stabbed and set on fire, and Alex picked up the knife like a right idiot. C tier? Or D tier? C or D?
C.
Bottom of C.
Bottom of C?
Bottom of C.
Yeah.
Okay. Flight 180.
As a whole?
No, that's another person who died in Flight 180.
Sorry.
We then have the 15-year-old kid. I cannot remember his name, but he chased the pigeons and was crushed by a fallen piece of glass. I thought this was pretty kick-ass. I think that's at least a B tier death, because
I'd say that
was super cool.
You could put that between McKinley and the mother. I think that would be pretty.
Yeah, I think
because it's very similar to McKinley's death.
Yeah, they both got squished.
But essentially died the same way, but with different objects.
Squishings looked super cool.
Yeah. Agreed.
And okay, we then have the three characters from the Final Destination who died by getting hit by the truck at the end, and that's the last people we have to do the tier. So where do you think the truck death at the end of the Final Destination?
See, like their actual death is really unimpressive, but I did like the X-ray effect.
Yes, yeah, it turned to the X-ray effect, which was pretty cool, yeah.
But I don't know if that puts it. I mean, I'd put it above a lot of the. I mean, it's just another vehicle death. So the top one in D is a vehicle death.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking bottom end of C. Because it's a wee bit cooler because you get all the X-ray stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And okay, there we go. Boom. We officially...
Is there any standout deaths that is missed?
Off my top of my head, it's hard to remember. We have the other girl who died in the sunbed, but they can essentially they're
they can
together.
Be one and the same.
We have. It's hard to.
If anybody's got to this point in the video, they can put in the comments.
If we've missed anyone, because
we can add it later.
Definitely, we've probably missed someone. They said this tier list said every death in Final Destination. I don't think it is every death, or maybe it is.
It's definitely not every death, considering we were counting 200 in certain films.
Oh yeah, but that's a pretty decent amount.
Every named character.
Random 85-year-old man, 20, however many years later, died of natural causes.
We haven't got deaths like the mechanic's wife who was ripped apart by the tire, and some deaths like that. So there are
the lawnmower death after the salon.
She gets the thing through the eye. So there are definitely deaths that are missing. But if you are watching, drop in the comments what deaths aren't here, because you might be better at remembering than us right now. And let us know what you think of our tier list. Is anyone not on S tier that should be? Do you completely disagree with us? Let us know in the comments how we have ruined your life by getting this list wrong. We will be more than happy to direct you to Ali to blame him. And while that is happening, why don't you head over to Ali's channel and check out his content? He looks.
Tell him how he's wrong about all of that as well.
Yes. He looks at comic books, wrestling, and science fiction stuff. You can head over to Jamie's stuff and tell him about how he knows nothing about horror. But this isn't really a surprise to Jamie. He's new to the genre, but feel free to tell him anyway.
Yeah, I've like quadrupled the amount of horror movies I've watched already.
You have since we have started this channel. Your horror knowledge is expanding, so head over to James' channel. He talks about Harry Potter in one of them, and he reacts to stuff in the other. Links to all of those channels will be in the descriptions. For more on horror, stick here. We have lots of videos on the channel. We have a Scream playlist, and at this point we also have a Final Destination playlist. So go check that stuff out. Let us know in the comments what you think. Click thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, we will be back for one last scare.